Hi, I'm Teresa and welcome to my channel. A year ago, I started to slow travel. I went onto YouTube, of course, and did a little bit of research and decided on Chiang Mai, Thailand. So I was finally doing it, but I was 60 years old. So this wasn't going to be anything like it would be when I was younger or even just a few years ago previous to the cancer and the cancer treatments. Was it going to be an experience of a lifetime, or am I out of my mind? All I know is I couldn't wait to go and see someplace different, experience new culture, people, the food, the sights, the smells. I was in for it all. One thing though, when I was doing that due diligence and I was on YouTube, I really couldn't find anybody like me. And when I say like me, I mean 60 years old, single female, about to head out there on her own and on a budget. So today, I'd like to focus my conversation around the concerns that I had in my head when I was leaving town. So with no real expectation of anything, I was off. I went to Vancouver and was leaving on a 2 a.m. flight for Chiang Mai. The flight was fabulous. China Airlines provided a meal around 2 hours in the air and again around 3 hours before landing. So that took about 5-6 hours of that flight. Not to mention, I downloaded a couple of Netflix shows that I wanted to catch up on. I did get some sleep in. So yeah, the flight was really quite good and on these bones, and the comfort was wonderful actually. And so were my seatmates, which is always a good thing when flying. One of the YouTube videos that I had watched was all about arriving in Chiang Mai at the airport and what I would expect, and it was fantastic. I ended up getting myself a cab to go to the hotel. It cost about 150 baht, which was about $6, and would have been, I don't think it was a long ride, it was probably about 10 minutes. My hotel was pretty simple and I had booked it for 4 nights. It was $24 a night. I didn't take any pictures but one of my first hotel room. I wasn't aware at that time that I was even going to be doing a YouTube channel. And also, I think I was just a little shell-shocked to have actually picked up and gone across the world by myself. So it was, a little bit of breathing for the first day or two. The next day, I went out to get some food and find some cannabis. The food was fantastic. If you're worried about spicy, don't be worried. There are so many varieties of cuisines from around the world, you will not be disappointed. Now for the cannabis. I'm a licensed cannabis advisor and I have been a medicinal user for many years and a card-carrying member in Canada for many years as well. Going to Thailand was an eye-opening experience. You will not find a bunch of labels and a bunch of government taxed packaging to look at. What you're going to have is a few simple jars with maybe the name of the strain and the percentage and how much it costs. On that note, it's about $25 a gram and upwards, as opposed to the $10 to $25 a gram that we pay here in Canada. I will say I was never at a loss for information, and at any time when I had a difficulty, understanding or them understanding me, we would pull out Google Translate and all would be resolved quite quickly. So while I was out there scoping around for food and cannabis, I got to see what it was like getting around. Fortunately, it was wonderful. Yeah, you might have the odd time where you might come up on, as I did, a construction project and you'll have to work around, or the traffic might be absolutely bonkers and you just have to trust and go. But otherwise, it was wonderful. And even in some of the places around the moat, you still might come upon the most ancient of trees and have to make your way around. After 4 days, I decided it was time to move on. Even though I wasn't worried about bells and whistles in the hotel room, AC was very, very important, but then a pool also became important. I love to go for walks in the morning, but the temperature and the humidity there is amazing. So coming back and being able to have a shower or a dip in the pool was a fantastic thing. My next hotel was right next to a temple. I found that absolutely beautiful. The chimes would sound morning, noon, and night. The roosters you would see upon the street in the morning, as well as the monks that you might walk with on the way to market in the morning. Now, walking to market, there's something in itself. The sights, the sounds. But if you're a budget traveler like myself, it is super affordable. The meals that you can get there are, oh wow, all of $1.50 Canadian, or you can buy and take it home or to your hotel room. Now, when it comes to mattresses in the hotels, if you're looking for a pillow top mattress or you like it super soft, I didn't find one of those beds. Mind you, I wasn't at the Radisson, but that's okay. I wanted to experience what Southeast Asia had to offer. And it offers a firm mattress, a very firm support. So if you have bones that don't like that, you might want to look at a different hotel. Otherwise, I was very happy. They do suggest that you book for a couple of days, and when you get there, you might want to walk around and try to find some deals that are there that maybe aren't on places like Booking.com or Agoda. They are definitely out there. So don't be afraid if you don't have everything nailed down. There are so many options. I don't think you'd ever really find yourself in a pinch unless you're there on the really high tourist days. When I traveled with AirAsia, the weight restriction of 7 kilograms almost had a very large charge on my bag. So you want to be aware of the weight restriction. Traveling small and light really works going to Asia. Did I have everything? I did. But I also needed to buy stuff when I was there and did find out I was worried way too much about that. I could have brought half as much and been just fine. There's everything you need there. There is a 7-Eleven around every corner and it carries everything for you, so you will not be without. As well as stuff like shampoo and that. It may not say Pantene, but it's Pantene, so there are a few brands that you might be able to recognize, and maybe they're not your perfect specific brand that you want, but you won't have to go without. And the brands that they have there in Asia are absolutely fantastic. So I arrived in Cambodia on September 28th. And it wasn't 2 days later that I realized that my tooth was killing me. And because I hadn't been in Cambodia very long, I made the choice to head back to Thailand to get it looked after. It took one doctor visit to get the assessment and the x-rays and know that it was cracked. But he was worried about doing the extraction because of my cancer, so they sent me on to the hospital. It took 2 visits at the hospital, and I'd say from the doctor visit and the 2 visits at the hospital, probably in total 3 hours. Also, in total, about $65 Canadian. They even had to get a surgeon to extract my tooth. Amazing. Their systems are set up so fantastic. I come from a part of the world where we have healthcare, and we could take a lesson from Asia. It didn't matter of what I looked like. I was treated no different than anyone else in that hospital or in that room that I was in. And I was in there more than once, and they serviced us all in a very timely fashion. And I don't think anybody was, left lacking any sort of treatment. So all the concerns I had about being 60 and my body and all the things I need, yeah, I got around it all. So if your nerves are getting in the way and you're an old dog like me, just do it. You're never going to experience these experiences by watching me or listening to me. You've tuned in because you want to do this for yourself. You can do this thing. You have everything you need inside of you to get it done. So go on and do it. The nerves are going to be there whether you're doing it or whether you're not doing it. At least you would have the experience on the other side to know that you can do it. And if you are different than everybody else, what's wrong with that? If no one wants to go with you and do it, what's wrong with that? There's a gentleman on the internet that's 80 years old, and I hope I don't screw up his saying, but I believe it is, if you're not dead, then you're not done. I only wish to have that much energy and curiosity still at 80 years old. And I believe that if I keep on this path and try to stay as true to who I am, that I will have that then. I thank you so much for tuning in today. Take care and talk soon. Bye for now.